Greetings audience, and today in our studio and our channel we're gonna have a look on the Among the Trees. Spending a weekend or even a vacation in the nature in the woods is a very attractive idea. Forget about work and family troubles, not answering calls, devote a few days exclusively to travel without a phone, laptop and other benefits of civilization. Only the fresh air, pleasant landscapes and food cooked over the fire. Of course, when you start to think about this through seriously, several important buts come to mind at once. Still, the wild forest is a dangerous place. There are bears in it. It's very easy to get lost over here. And besides, sleeping in a tent is not so comfortable, and forest mosquitoes are probably even more annoying than the city ones. And in general, what is here to do in this forest? There is no point in exploring it. It's all the same. You'll be tortured to pick the mushrooms, and fishing is very boring. It makes you sleepy. And in the end, for many the dreams of staying for a few days is their wellness never come true, because you want to get into ideal forest and not just go and hike, where the opportunity to breathe fresh air and admire the views you will have to put up with a number of inconveniences. To get to the nature, remaining in the comfort zone, today allow games, from hunting and fishing simulators to some RDR2. Most of all this, of course, is among survival simulators, but peculiarity of the forest, the long dark and the like is that the entire gameplay is based precisely on the search for food, medicine and lodging, while admiring the sunsets and other calming opportunities remain in the background. Among Trees develops to go from the opposite direction. It has all the standard mechanics of survival gen: hunger, sleep and trauma system, farming, fishing and crafting, but each element aims to create a pleasant atmosphere and a sense of relaxation while removing the stress that usually occurs from high complexity. Standard mechanics. Among Trees is currently only in early access. Some of its mechanics have not been yet implemented. The map will be changed over the time, but it's already obvious that there will be no gameplay ideas for the genre in the game. The standard character parameters tells you how often you need to eat, sleep and how long you can swim in the river or the walk until you freeze. Crafting is primitive, resources are few, and the map itself is not very diverse. There is no plot or at least some kind of connection at the moment, although the story mode is promised to be added the winter. In the meantime, we play simply for a certain woman who found herself in the forest next to a destroyed hut. There is one round, there is no specific goal either, but we are obturously offered to fix the house and equip it for permanent residence. To build the main frame, there are enough boards and branches lying around. But to build additional rooms, at least a workshop where you can create tools, even more wood is required, as well as metal products. Both have been looked in the ruins of some towers, or perhaps tower is not yet clear with it. There are more than a dozen such zones of the entire map, and you can find them wire, nails, rags and the like. Having collected a sufficient amount of junk, you can already erect a workshop. Then the first floor can be supplemented with a kitchen and a greenhouse. Turnips and beets grow there, and the second floor is allowed to be converted into a storage and viewing workshop, where you can make new clothes and backpacks. Each extension requires new resources that must be looked for through the map. This means that you need to go out every day in a search of necessary materials, stocking up in advance with the necessary tools, food and equipment. In the first half of the game, the hike lasts no longer than one day. By nightfall, the characters get tired and freeze, so you need to return home. Later a tent appears, allowing you to sleep right in the forest and not return to the hut for several days. When the house is built, food is prepared for the future and the best backpack and jackets are served, you can start exploring yet unexplored territories. Or stay to equip the hut, arrange the flowers on the window and make carved paintings and figures. Sooner or later the decoration will be completed, and the only thing that remains to be done is to wait for a new major update to the game. Non-standard attitude towards the player, although all the mechanics are as typical as possible, the feel of Among Trees is very unusual. At first it seems that this is the most haunted survival game, only the enemy here is a bear. and there are no weapons or ways to fight back. But when you start to notice the oddities, so there will be 2 or 3 screamers with the bears for the whole game, and the bears guard several loot zones, which sometimes contain important tool blueprints, and then each meeting with the bear ends with a reliably simple stealth. We hide in the grass, wait for the animal to turn away, take the drawing and run away as quickly as possible. Apart from bears, no one can inflict tangible damage on the heroine, unless the beast sting painfully, but even if you step up the hive, you will not suffer much. But at the same time, the player himself cannot harm anyone. Rabbits and deer run through the forest, birds fly, but there are no weapons for hunting, no snares, no traps. All the action of protagonists are as peaceful as possible, and the most cruel thing that can be done is cut down 2 especially rare tree from which resin is extracted. Gradually comes the understanding that the game is not about how to survive in the wild, but about how to have fun being in such a calm place. For example, there is really no point in building a greenhouse. There is enough food without it, and it's very easy to find it. But at the same time, in among trees, it's very simply pleasant, for example, to plant the water seeds. The rest of the in-game life is also comfortably arranged. There you can take in your fishing rod, tent and bowler hat, go hiking to distant pond, on the way get caught in the rain, accidentally share a deer, stumble upon a beehive, and all this in incredibly picturesque setting. The world around is quite alive due to rabbits, deers and birds. And the basis of the visual style is a combination of orange-blue shades is simple but effective. Together with the fog constantly swaying grass, slaving leaves and fireflies soaring on the air, a very beautiful picture is obtained. Because of this, you want to constantly return to the game and study it. There are no biomes as such as the forest in almost the same everywhere, but every time you rejoice when you find new places, some beautifully located waterfalls, or for example a forest hidden between the rocks. The only noticeable disadvantage of the game today is the early access status. Technically among the trees works well. There are some rough edges like disabled anti-aliasing, sometimes filling through the textures of objects, and lack of support for the gamepads. But in general, bugs are rare and the optimization juggling by the reviews is performed at an acceptable level. The main problem is that there is too little content in the game so far. The current alpha version is passed at most in 15 hours, after which there is nothing more to do in Among Trees. No matter how meditative and pleasant it is, there's simply no point in returning to it after the whole map has been opened. In the fall, developers plan to add a pet system and a breathing, and the first iteration of the story mode, big peeping and many game improvements are expected only for the winter. But even with such a list of improvements on the exciting map, is difficult to scratch the gameplay longer than the conditional 20 hours. It is advisable to wait for a full release. Thank you so much for watching review. All the links in the description. Bye bye.